Listen carefully. Most of the pain you carry is not because people undervalued you. It's because you let them set the price for your soul. You heard me. Someone didn't see you. Someone didn't show up. Someone walked away like you were a light they could do without, and you treated their indifference like a verdict. You sat in the courtroom of your own mind and accepted the sentence, worthless, forgotten, replaceable. That is the wound I want to press at first, because only by touching the ache do we find what heals it. You think you were wronged. Maybe you were. The world is full of sloppy, selfish people who trip over kindness and spit on decency. But the real damage is not their failure. It is your response. You folded yourself into the shape they gave you, trying to be smaller, softer, more convenient. You apologized for existing loud. You rearranged your life around someone else's quiet. You let a stranger's neglect become the map of your worth. This is the thing to stop. Look at the men and women who endured worse and remained whole. Marcus Aurelius did not build a throne of compliments. He built a citadel in himself. Seneca did not measure his value by applause. He measured it by the steadiness of his actions. Epictetus taught that the only things truly yours are your judgments and your choices, not their gestures, not their pity, not their leaving. You still have what they cannot take, your inner authority. So here is the method, not a list of feel-good slogans, but a small, lethal set of practices that will change how the world's indifference touches you. Do them until they become your reflex. Do them until you move without asking permission from anyone's approval. First, stop seeking evidence from the outside. We are trained like beggars to stand with our cup open, waiting for someone else to toss in meaning. That cup will never be full. Instead, close your hands around the thing that is yours, your attention, your conduct, your silence. When someone offers you little, accept it as their poverty, not your measure. If a man hums away from your life, let him hum away. What does his humming have to do with the 4 commands you give yourself when you wake up? Second, protect your time like it's a temple. Time is the only real currency. If a person treats your hours like disposable goods, treat them the same way you would treat a thief. You lock the doors and you do not invite them back. Set boundaries that don't require explanations. You owe no justification for your peace. If she values scrolling more than presence, you step back. If he values drama more than depth, you walk away. Small acts of refusal accumulate into dignity. Third, cultivate a taste for solitude that is not loneliness. There is a difference. One is hunger, the other is nourishment. Stand enough alone to hear your own voice. Read a line of Marcus Aurelius and feel how his words don't demand your applause. They demand your attention. Sit with the silence until it answers you. The man who can be comfortable alone, who can take himself for company, becomes unreadable to those who would measure him with petty scales. Fourth, speak your truth with a calm ferocity, not the shouted truth that wants to hurt, but the low, inevitable truth that arrives like an autumn wind and cannot be argued with. When you say, "I will not be treated this way," say it as if it is already done. People respond to certainty. The weak ask, the strong assert. Seneca said that we are often punished not for our crimes, but for our timidity. Let your words be small and decisive. Let them close doors when doors should be closed. Fifth, practice being useful, not visible. Do the hard things when no one watches. Train your character in the dark. Do favors without expectation. The person who lives for likes will always be starved for honor. The one who does right because it is right will sleep at night. This is not about moral posturing. It is about inner rent. You pay it daily and sleep in the house of steadiness. Sixth, learn to translate rejection into information. When someone doesn't value you, ask fewer questions of them and more of reality. What do their actions say? Where do they spend their energy? What patterns do you detect? Use those answers like a compass, not to punish, but to navigate. People's behaviors are maps. Read them and move accordingly. Epictetus would say, "Control the only thing you can, your interpretation. Let interpretation be precise, not poetic." Seventh, let bitterness be a warning, not a home. Bitterness is a senseless harbor where the wounded anchor and rot. Notice it, name it, then convert its energy into a plan. They left me. Fine. What will you become in their absence? Will you be smaller, or will you be a scar that becomes armor? The scar that hardens into armor is a trophy, not a prison. And there is a final thing most people forget. Love is not a reaction to being valued. It is a function of sovereignty. You can love someone without collapsing into need. You can open your hands and let love flow without trembling that it will not return. That is the highest strength. To love freely and not demand recompense, that is the warrior's heart. If they value you back, take it as a gift. If they do not, let it pass like a weather system. Your sky remains. Do not mistake this for numbness. We are not training dead hearts. We are training honest ones. Feel the hurt fully, like a clear bell. Hear it, let it speak, then let it go. Anger burns bright, but it burns you first. Grief is a teacher. Pity is a trap. Learn the grammar of each and respond with the verb that carries you forward. Now, go and act. This is not a sermon. It's an order from the person you will be if you refuse to be measured by the smallness of others. Tomorrow, when someone offers you the smallest thing, a half-hearted apology, a late message, a missing effort, treat it like what it is, data. Then decide. Decide as Marcus would, with patience and iron. Decide as Seneca would, with dignity and reason. Decide as Epictetus would, with clear-eyed ownership of what only you can control. And when you do this long enough, you will watch people who once treated you like an option begin to regard you like a law. Not because you forced them, but because you stopped giving them the power to rewrite your worth. That is the quiet revenge of the steady man. He becomes inevitable. So end this now with a small promise to yourself. No more bargaining for respect. No more dressing wounds in apologies. Build a small, stubborn life where you are expensive and uncommon. Let the indifferent pass like weather. Keep your attention, spend your time, and guard your heart.